Just when it seemed like the legal battle between Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie couldn't get any more complicated, another courtroom showdown has put the spotlight on something completely unexpected: Angelina's personal tax records. Brad's legal team is now asking the court to require Angelina to hand over financial documents from several years ago, arguing they're essential to the ongoing Château Miraval lawsuit. But Angelina is pushing back hard, saying Brad is twisting her words and creating a false impression about her financial situation. She insists she never claimed she was broke, and now this latest dispute is adding yet another dramatic chapter to one of Hollywood's longest-running legal battles. So why are years-old tax returns suddenly such a major issue? And what could this mean for the future of the Miraval case? Here's everything we know. To understand why this latest court filing matters, it's important to look at how the dispute began. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie purchased Château Miraval together during their marriage, transforming the historic French estate into both a family retreat and a successful winery. After their relationship ended, the property became one of the biggest points of contention between them. Brad has argued that the two had an agreement that neither of them would sell their ownership interest without the other's approval. Angelina, however, later sold her stake in the winery to the Jolie Group, and Brad responded by filing a lawsuit, claiming the sale violated their agreement and harmed the business they had built together. Angelina has consistently denied needing Brad's permission to complete the sale, setting the stage for years of legal disputes over contracts, ownership rights, and business decisions. But as the case has continued, the focus has expanded far beyond the winery itself, leading to increasingly personal legal battles over documents, communications, and now, financial records. According to Brad's legal team, Angelina's own statements have made her financial condition relevant to the lawsuit. In previous court filings, Angelina explained that selling her interest in Miraval was part of her effort to gain what she described as financial independence. Brad's attorneys argue that this statement opened the door to questions about her finances during the years leading up to the sale. They believe her tax returns and other financial records from 2017 through 2019 could help determine whether selling her ownership stake was truly necessary or whether she had significant financial resources available at the time. In court filings, Brad's lawyers point out that Angelina has enjoyed an enormously successful acting career for decades, including reportedly earning tens of millions of dollars for major studio films such as Maleficent. They argue that if she had substantial income during the relevant period, those records could challenge her claim that selling her interest in Miraval was one of her only meaningful financial options. From Brad's perspective, the requested documents are not simply out of curiosity. They are evidence that his legal team believes could be directly relevant to the claims being argued in court. But that wasn't the whole story. Angelina has now responded forcefully, filing new court documents that reject Brad's interpretation of her earlier statements. Her legal team argues that Brad has selectively quoted her comments while ignoring the broader context in which they were made. According to Angelina, when she spoke about seeking financial independence, she was referring specifically to becoming financially independent from her former husband, not suggesting that she was facing financial hardship or lacked personal wealth. Her attorneys say there is an important distinction between wanting to separate your financial life from an ex-spouse and claiming to be in general financial distress. They argue that Brad's attempt to portray those statements as evidence that she claimed to be broke is simply inaccurate. Angelina's lawyers also argue that she has already voluntarily provided tax documents for other years and that demanding additional returns from 2017 through 2019 would represent an unnecessary invasion of her privacy. In their view, the real issue isn't whether Angelina needed money. Instead, they argue the case is about her efforts to untangle her personal and financial affairs following the end of the marriage. Brad has continued to deny allegations made against him in other aspects of the broader legal dispute, and those issues remain separate from this specific disagreement over financial records. Even so, this latest exchange shows just how intensely contested nearly every part of the Miraval litigation has become. As news of the latest court filing spread online, fans quickly began debating the issue from every angle. Some people believe Brad's legal team is simply using standard legal procedures available during civil litigation, arguing that if financial claims become part of a lawsuit, both sides have the right to request documents that could support or challenge those claims. Others believe Angelina has a reasonable expectation of privacy and shouldn't be required to disclose years of sensitive financial information if it isn't directly necessary to resolve the case. Many longtime followers of the former couple expressed surprise that the legal battle continues to generate new disputes so many years after their separation. Across social media, discussions remain deeply divided. Some viewers believe Brad's request is a routine legal strategy, while others feel the request goes too far and unnecessarily extends an already lengthy court battle. As with many high-profile celebrity legal cases, public opinion remains split, and much of the online conversation reflects personal perspectives rather than legal conclusions. For now, one of the biggest questions remains unanswered because the court has not yet ruled on Brad's request. A judge will ultimately decide whether Angelina must provide the additional financial documents or whether her privacy concerns outweigh Brad's arguments for disclosure. That decision could shape what evidence becomes available as the Miraval lawsuit moves closer to trial. The broader case itself is still ongoing, with both sides continuing to challenge various legal issues involving the winery, ownership agreements, business decisions, and discovery requests. Over the past several years, both Brad and Angelina have claimed important courtroom victories at different stages of the litigation, making it difficult to predict exactly how the final outcome will unfold. Legal experts often note that discovery disputes like this one can significantly influence how future arguments are presented, even if they don't determine the ultimate winner of the case. Until the judge rules, both sides are expected to continue, preparing for what could become another major chapter in this already complex legal battle. What began years ago as a disagreement over the future of a French winery has evolved into one of Hollywood's longest-running and most closely watched legal disputes. The latest disagreement isn't simply about tax returns or financial documents. It's about whether Angelina's personal finances are truly relevant to the legal arguments surrounding the sale of her Miraval stake. Brad's legal team believes those records could help support its position, while Angelina insists her comments have been misunderstood and that her private financial information should remain protected. With the judge's decision still pending, another important question remains unresolved, and the Miraval case continues to move forward with no shortage of legal twists. As the courtroom battle continues, many observers will be watching closely to see what happens next. Because if the history of this case has shown anything, it's that each new filing has the potential to change the conversation once again.